Hello wrestling fans, the Wrestling Wizard here and welcome to another video. And in today's video we're going to look at the reasons why the Wyatt Sicks is killing it and why the Wyatt Sicks is going to kill it moving forward. Because so far the debut of the Wyatt Sicks has been spot on. They are towing the line perfectly between kayfabe and reality, blending it all into one absolute mega storyline angle, which is so unpredictable. They've honoured the legacy of Bray Wyatt in the most tasteful way, but they're also giving us something new. We're sort of going into the unknown as well, and it's safe to say, even at this stage, the naysayers, the critics, are struggling to criticise the Wyatt Sicks. So why is this working so well? Now, we've already alluded to it slightly before. I mentioned honouring the legacy of Bray Wyatt, and they are doing that in the most tasteful way. The little touches like the lantern still being a huge part of this Wyatt Sicks faction. It's almost like Bray is with them spiritually and they're following Bray Wyatt via the lantern. I love the fact that they use the piano chords from the Shatter theme when the Wyatt Sicks come out. Before that, the Fiend's shutdown effects as well. The little details like that. And also I love the fact that they're honouring the legacy of other members of the Wyatt family. The late great Brody Lee. Rest in peace to Brody Lee. And I love the fact that Brody Lee, aka Luke Harper, is part of Ramblin' Rabbit, aka Eric Rowan. Because you got the Bludgeon Brothers mask on the back of the Ramblin' Rabbit costume. So he will always be there. He will always be remembered. I love the fact that the Bray Wyatt storyline continues in some capacity and that they throw back to previous Bray Wyatt storytelling, but with a sprinkle of something new. I really like the fact that every member has a red circle connected to them. It almost feels like they're all servants. They go where the circle takes them. Remember that promo from Bray? I'm just a servant, I go where the circle takes me. But also, visually, it feels completely fresh, completely new. There's some tweaks to the Uncle Howdy character visually, and Uncle Howdy just looks badass and menacing. Like, the presentation of Howdy to this day is spot on. Another reason why I feel this faction is going to be a huge success is it feels much more grounded. It feels like this faction can blend in to a WWE of 2024. It feels like they're towing the line perfectly between kayfabe and reality, and you're invested in the reality. You're invested in the characters. They all have personal stories, reasons, incentives, why they've joined the Wyatt Sicks. It could be down to pain in the past, abandonment, the fact that they were lied to, the fact that they felt betrayed, felt that maybe they underachieved in the past and they're here to correct that and rewrite that wrong. And they're going to be absolute weapons in the ring, cause some absolute destruction in WWE. I really like that because you're invested on a personal level. And also, I really like the fact that they're not overexposing the mystique of the Wyatt Sicks characters. The very fact that this week on Monday Night Raw, we just got Bo Dallas, a raw Bo Dallas come out before unleashing the Wyatt Sicks on Chad Gable and, of course, the Creed brothers. Didn't expect that. I was like, what the heck? Bo Dallas just strutting down to the ring? And his performance was top notch. Of course, this makes you, as a WWE fan, ask multiple questions. And you could say, not criticising the Fiend gimmick in any way, because I honestly believe that gimmick itself was one of the best gimmicks in WWE history. It had so much potential that maybe didn't get quite reached because the Fiend was overexposed. The Fiend, in my personal opinion, should have been used as a special attraction where you see him when it matters rather than overexposing him. There's only so far you can go with an unstoppable monster. If you see that character too much, it then loses that aura. And I think with this Uncle Howdy character, we maybe only see Uncle Howdy, Bo Dallas' darkest alter ego, not quite as often. Maybe used more sparingly. So when you do see him, it matters. Also, the little details with the Eric Rowan mallet, the fact that there's help on there, translates to, of course, the fact that we know in the Eric Rowan interview the very real Eric Rowan interview, that he needed help. And he got that help because Uncle Howdy took his hand. Of course, Ramblin' Rabbit was crying for help in the Firefly Funhouse, but Bray Wyatt ignored him. They're also keen to get the wrestlers into the ring as well, it seems, as well. I would not be surprised if this year at SummerSlam we potentially get Howdy or Bo Dallas versus Chad Gable, or probably more likely Chad Gable and the Creed brothers versus the male members of the Wyatt Sicks. You know, a criticism that's going to come from the skeptics is going to be, well, how does this translate to the ring? Well, if you get them in the ring and it delivers and it's magic and it happens at SummerSlam, how can you criticize that? Also, there's so much unfinished business when it comes to this story. It's only just starting, this Wyatt Sicks storyline. You can, of course, explore and move on into characters such as Alexa Bliss. How is she going to be part of this storyline? Is she part of the faction? Is she going to be the 6th member? Like, what on earth is going on there? What is the connection still with her and Uncle Howdy? Because after all, from the Royal Rumble 2023, Uncle Howdy made it very clear that he was the one in charge. I've got a feeling that something massive is going to happen, something huge is going to happen at this year's SummerSlam, but I am skeptical if they bring back Alexa Bliss. Is that maybe going to be overshadowed by the return of Roman Reigns, which surely is inevitable? But I'm sure WWE can make it work. Of course, there's the former Wyatt family member, Braun Strowman. I don't think he's going to become an actual member, but I certainly think in the distant future, we will see some connection with Braun Strowman and the Wyatt Sicks. And obviously, we've got to talk about Randy Orton. We will talk about him in a moment, because how can you not? Surely he's going to be connected to this in some capacity. But another major point in why this is working, why this Wyatt Sicks is delivering, is the fact that Bo Dallas is smashing it out the park. When it comes to his performances, the way he's selling those facial expressions, the way he can carry across a promo, it makes it credible. You fully invest in the Wyatt Sicks because Taylor Rotunda is delivering. I'm not saying it's all down to Taylor Rotunda, but it's a big part and a reason why you take this as a credible act. The props, the costumes are incredible. You would pay to see a WWE event just to see the Wyatt Sicks come down to the ring, just to see their entrance. And talking about the entrance, are they going to get a new theme? Are Code Orange going to deliver a theme for Wyatt Sicks? So many questions still, so much still to look forward to. But the eerie, creepy, and damn right, like it's shot out of a horror movie, way that the Wyatt Sicks sort of come down to the ring, just brilliant. It's genius. And they can also still be involved in multiple storylines, multiple characters on the WWE roster. Like, for instance, and we alluded to Randy Orton, you can indirectly influence Randy Orton by alluding to the past, by having multiple weeks where the Wyatt Sicks target Randy Orton. But ultimately, it's to get Randy Orton to bring out the best version of himself. And hey, few can argue that the best version of Randy Orton isn't heel Randy Orton. Heel Randy Orton was gold. Absolute money. And you can bet your bottom dollar at some point he's going to go after Cody Rhodes, turn on Cody Rhodes. And you can transition that angle via the Wyatt Sicks. So you've got the Wyatt Sicks as this mid to upper card faction that can influence multiple storylines and multiple superstars. It makes it really, really unpredictable, and you don't know when they're going to strike. And more importantly, you don't know who they're going to go after as well. Like, there's so many layers to this, but you've got to think that Randy Orton, Braun Strowman, and Alexa Bliss are going to be a huge part of this Wyatt Sicks faction in some capacity, whether it be directly or indirectly. We'll have to wait and see. I like the way that the Wyatt Sicks can transition towards multiple shows as well. Can go over to SmackDown, could go over to NXT as well. Like, there's multiple ways they can spin this. But what do you think? Like, more importantly, are you enjoying this Wyatt Sicks? Do you think it's going to be a success? Is there anything I've missed that you want to pop in the comment section to share your thoughts and opinions on that? And as always, of course, thank you so much for watching the video. I'd really appreciate it if you could like the video, share the video, and even better, subscribe if you're new. I'll catch you in the next one.